All right, in this video, I'm going to be doing a complete beginner walkthrough and tutorial of Smartlead. I'm going to show you all the different features inside the platform so you can be successful when launching your campaigns inside Smartlead. This is going to include how to set up email accounts, how to launch campaigns, how to leverage all the different features inside the platform, basically everything you need to know to make sure you're successful when using Smartlead. A little bit of context on me. My name is Matt Lucero. I send over 100,000 emails per week inside the platform for our customers, and I'm going to be able to share all the different lessons and knowledge and learnings that I have from using this platform for over 2 years along with you inside this video. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. All right, so diving into Smartlead, this is their website. First, I want to talk just a quick second about why you should be using Smartlead or a tool like Smartlead to do your cold email sequencing. And the main reason why is because it's centered around cold email deliverability. They have so many different features that I'm going to walk through here in a second. They're optimized to make sure that your emails land in the inbox folder and not in the spam folder, such as email inbox rotation. So whenever you launch a campaign, you can add multiple different email accounts so you can spread your email sending volume across it. It has warm up, which I'm going to walk through in a second here to help improve your email account's reputation. And it also has a lot of different features that I'm going to walk through here in a second. So if you want to sign up to Smartlead, there's a link in the description below. You can sign up, get a 14-day free trial. And once you make an account and sign in, you're going to be brought to a screen like this. Now, if you have a Smartlead account already and you're launching campaigns, it's going to look something like this and you're going to see all the different campaigns. But if you're starting off completely from scratch, there's not going to be any campaign data in here because you haven't launched a campaign. And so these are campaigns because, again, we send on behalf of customers. So that's why you're seeing all this data inside here. Now, I'm just going to start off and give a super high level. Over here on the left-hand side, this is where you can see all the different features and tabs. You can launch email campaigns. You can view all the email replies in this master inbox section, and you can add your email accounts in the email account section. And then I'm going to get to the rest here in a section. So first, I'm going to start off with the email campaigns, and I'm going to go in order on the left-hand side. So once you log into Smartlead, and actually, I'm going to start over here on the email account section because this is where you're going to want to connect your email accounts in the first place. To be able to launch a campaign and get all your email assets set up, you're going to want to add your email accounts. This is what's going to be used to launch your email campaigns. And like I said, if you want to maximize deliverability, and why you should be using Smartlead in the first place is because you're going to want to set up multiple different email accounts. So what you can do inside Smartlead is you can add dozens and dozens and dozens of email accounts. They have a flat billing model, so you can add unlimited accounts to any plan that you purchase. Whenever you go to this email account section here, you can either add accounts that you create and connect yourself. So you can go to Google Workspace, Microsoft, or a SMTP provider like MailReef. Go there, make your email accounts, and then connect it to Smartlead one by one through this section here. If you're using a MailReef or an SMTP tool, you can drag and drop it. If you're using Gmail or Outlook, you have to manually log in and connect these accounts. Or alternatively, you can use Smart Senders. So what Smart Senders is it's basically Smartlead's native integrated email setup feature where you can come inside here and you can purchase email accounts and domains directly through their platform. So you can buy Google accounts, Outlook accounts, and SMTP accounts. Now, I personally prefer to set up my own accounts outside of Smartlead. That way I have full control. And if I want to change anything out, I own the domain, I own the admin panel and all the other stuff. But if you're a complete beginner and you're just starting out and you want to get a couple email accounts set up, you can go ahead and do this. They make it super simple. So if you want to set up a Gmail account, for example, here, you can press proceed and then you can set up your domain. So I can just enter in a dummy domain here. I'm going to press just whatever this is, .com. You can create your domains and it's going to give you some suggestions so you can set up multiple domains. I'm going to select 4 here in this case. It's going to give you the billing total here, and then you can set up the actual names of the email account. So if I want to do outreach and I want to do it for my own name, I'm going to type Matt Lucero, and then you can select the different domains you want to use, and then you can add different users to the email account. So if I want to add, a sales rep on my team, I can add his name. If I want to add a BDR, SDR, AE, whoever you want on your team, you can press this here and add those people in. You can also add a profile picture, which is recommended so that people can see your face whenever you're sending emails out to them. This only really occurs if you're sending to Gmail from Gmail. Otherwise, you're not going to see your profile picture, but it is useful. I'm not going to go over here and finish this whole setup, but it's pretty straightforward here. You just add your image, you can generate and review mailboxes, and then you can get those set up in a few clicks of a button. So that's a really convenient feature. If you don't really care where the email accounts are hosted, if you do care, you can go separately and set them up yourself. So once you do that, you connect your email accounts. You can see there's a bunch of different email accounts inside here. You can click in command, and this is where you can adjust the settings. So Smartlead has warm-up, and what warm-up is it basically sends emails to other people on their platform to build your email account's reputation and help your email deliverability. This prevents you from landing in spam and make sure that your emails actually get good deliverability. And so they have this as a free integrated native feature inside the platform. If you go over here to the settings tab, this is where you can configure your email settings. So you can set up a signature, how many emails you want to send per day, and the time gap between those emails. You can set up the warm-up settings here as well. And then you can add tags and view which campaigns each of the email accounts is assigned to. Really, really great feature inside Smartlead here. You can also tag the email account. So if I want to filter for certain customers or certain different things, I can do this inside this filtering section. And if I want to bulk update the email accounts, I can simply click this button here in the top left and select all the email accounts, or as many as I'd want to change around here, and be able to change the settings here in mass. So really, really useful features here inside Smartlead. And this is, again, why you want to use it if you're sending from a bunch of different email accounts and you're optimizing for deliverability. They have all these different features to be able to bulk manage your email accounts, which makes it very, very useful if you're trying to launch campaigns at scale. Now, once you connect your email accounts, you can go ahead over here on the left-hand side and go to the email campaign section. And this is where you can launch your campaign. So I'm going to go over this in a second here as well. Real quick, if you want someone to help you build an email system like I'm showing you in this video, or manage it completely on your behalf so we can send thousands of emails per day and book meetings with people that are interested in your services, feel free to check one of the links in the description below. You can apply to work with us and see if we can help you. Otherwise, let's get back to the video. So in this tab here, you can see all the different stats from the campaigns you're running. If you want to edit your campaigns, you can do this with the pencil button here. And then you can also see all the campaigns are active. I can click into these in a different tab. Now, if I want to go ahead and launch a campaign, very, very simple. All you have to do is press create campaign in the top right. You can give your campaign a name here in the top left. So if I want to name this test campaign, I'm going to write that in here. And then you can upload the leads that you want to reach out to. So I'm going to click into this tab here, and then I'm going to select a lead list. And once you select the lead list, it's going to prompt you with a few different settings here. So you can import leads, even if they're in the global block list. So you can add a block list or an unsubscribe list of people that maybe you've reached out to in the past and you don't want to hit again, or people that are active customers. And so by default, it filters those people out. But if you want to still allow them in the campaigns, you can toggle these on or off. You can ignore leads that exist in other campaigns. So if you want to make sure, again, you're not resequencing other people, you can enable this. And then Smartlead also has a global block list of people that have bounced inside their user base. This may or may not be useful. I usually leave this on to ignore it because it takes data from all kinds of different users on the platform, which may or may not be accurate. And so these default settings are fine. Now, if you're using Smartlead as an agency, you can assign specific clients you want this to be seen under. So assuming you're an agency, you can click in here and select a client. If you're doing this for yourself, then this section doesn't really matter. And then this is a section where you can go over and map all the different fields from your lead list inside of Smartlead. So if I download a lead list from an Apollo or a Clay or some other type of tool, you're going to see all the different fields that come along with it that I want to leverage in my campaigns. I can go over here and map all these. So Smartlead already noticed the names of the columns inside of the Google sheet that I just uploaded, but there's a few missing here. So like the email tab, I want to make sure that that's added in so I can email these people. I also want to pull in the LinkedIn profile in case I want to reference this in the future. If you want to add any sort of custom variables, you can also do that inside of here as well. Once you're happy with this, you can press save and next. And as you can see here, I have a couple leads that are messed up, which is okay. I'm just going to let this run, and then this is going to start importing. So as you can see here, this is a really small list. There's only 230 people, but that's okay. And once this is uploaded, now we can go over here to the sequence section. Now that we have the leads in the campaign, this is where we can write the cold outreach campaigns that we're sending out. So if you want to add a subject line, which you probably do, you can just type that in here. So I'm going to put quick question, which is a pretty standard cold email subject line. I don't necessarily recommend you use this, but this is probably the most common one that's used. So I'm just going to use this as an example. And this isn't a cold email copywriting video. There are other videos on this channel where I do talk about how you can write your scripts, but this is where you can type in the script. So I can type hi, and then I can insert the variables. So like first name, and this again pulls in from your lead list. So if you have different variables or stuff you want to insert inside your campaigns, you can do that here very quickly. If you have custom variables, you can also insert those with this variables tab here. And then if I want to include any other, copy, a hi first name, I'm selling a service. Do you want to buy? right? This is a very terrible cold email, but I'm just doing this for the sake of this video. This is all you have to do to write your sequence. Now, if you want to add your signature from your email accounts, you can type %signature%. This is where your signature is going to get inserted. If you don't type this, it's just going to be added to the end of your email. And then you can type anything below this if you want. If you want to preview what your email looks like, you can press this preview tab and it'll show you all the different details here from the leads inside your campaign. Now, if you press the preview button here in the top right, you can see what your email looks like now with all the lead details that you just uploaded. So you can see here it pulled in the first name, hi Josh, selling a service you want to buy. You can also send a test email to your own email if you want to see what that looks like. And then let's say you have this copy all nice and finished however you want. You can move on to the next step. You can also add different split tests and variants. And so this is really useful if you want to split test different things in your email. So let's say, for example, I want to split test a different subject line. Like I want to say quick idea. I don't think this would make much of a difference, by the way, if you're going to want to run the split test. But if you want to run this split test, you can add different variants. And so Smartlead's going to then throw half the volume at the first variant. It's going to throw half the volume at the second variant. And then you can also add follow-up emails here as well. So I could say after 4 days, I want to send another follow-up email saying, hi, just wanted to follow up. Again, this is a terrible follow-up. I'm just doing this really quick for the video. But after 4 days, it'll then send a follow-up. And so Smartlead's really powerful because you can set up these sequences, let them run, and then have your cold email sent out automatically on your behalf. Once you're happy with this, you can move on to the next step here into the setup tab. So now that you're in the setup tab here, this is where you can configure all your settings. So if I want to configure, for example, not to track email opens by having an optimized email, you can select this here. This helps deliverability. If you want to prioritize, if you want to reach out to new leads or follow-ups, you can do that here. If you want to select, let's say I only want to reach out to Gmail accounts or Outlook accounts in this lead list, I can select that as well. Smartlead also has a feature here where you can have their AI categorize the incoming responses from your email campaigns, like different tags and whatnot, so you can help sort through them easier. So if you want to do that, you can leverage this here. I recommend this in most cases. And then you can also use this feature to pause the campaigns if your bounce rate gets too high. That way, if you're running your campaigns and something is completely messed up and your emails start bouncing, you can protect your email account safety. So let's say the bounce rate gets really high because you forgot to validate your emails. It'll pause the campaign to prevent further damage. So this can be a useful feature. Scheduling settings, you can set what days you want to send on. If you want to send on weekdays, weekends, or anywhere between. Time zone, you can set the times you want to send and the spaces in between it. And then you can also set the max number of new leads to reach out per day. This can be useful if you want to set a cap on that side. And then over here on the sender account settings, this is where you can set up which email accounts you want to use. So let's say I want to select these first 5 email accounts here so that I want to use these in the campaign. I can do that. If I want to set up thousands of email accounts, I can also do this with a couple clicks of a button. So Smartlead makes it super easy if you want to do this so that you can launch your campaigns. After you have all of this set up, you can go over here. I'm going to configure a couple email accounts really quick here. So I'm just going to select these 3. In most cases, you want to have a lot more depending on the email sending volume you want to use. I'm going to set a random time zone and just get this out and then save and next. In this final review section here, now I can review what the emails are actually going to look like before they get sent out. Same thing, we're looking at the sequences section here. I can see what the email is going to look like before it gets sent. This signature thing gets dynamically added at the end, but if I want to send a test email to myself to see what it actually looks like, I can do that here as well. If you want to see what your other emails look like, you can click that here. And then if you want to check to see if there's any spam words in your email that potentially is hurting your deliverability, you can use the spam checker feature and the readability feature. This helps make sure that your emails are readable and they are not seen as spammy and that you're doing your final checks here. The nice thing Smartlead also lets you do is see what your emails will look like on the mobile view. This is really useful because you might be writing a giant block of text and don't realize how terrible it looks whenever you're looking on the phone view. So this is useful as well. And then if you want to launch a campaign, I'm going to move my beautiful face here. You can see this start campaign button here in the bottom right. Then you can launch your campaign and get everything up and running. This other feature here that Smartlead has, I'm going to cover here in a second, but this is a spam test. Smartlead has a smart delivery feature where you can send your emails to their set of email accounts. So you can see where they land before actually launching the campaign. So let's say your emails were going to land in the spam folder. You can send it into Smartlead's email accounts. They'll tell you if they land in the spam folder and you'll be able to know before you launch the campaign. You can do that with a couple clicks of a button here. You can run a spam test and it'll bring you to the smart delivery section, which is a good segue into the smart delivery section, section, which again is Smartlead's way of being able to tell if your emails are going to land in spam or not before launching the campaign. You can set a name to this test. You can give a description and check the links in your emails as well. Let's say I'm fine with these default settings. I can then set it up so that using the email copy I just set up here and the mailboxes that I have assigned to this campaign, I can say, hey, send it to Smartlead's pool of Google, Outlook, and GMX email accounts. And then once that goes live, I can launch this campaign. And then whenever your spam tests are done, you can now see all the different placement results from these campaigns. So for example, here, you can see this second campaign here. All the emails we sent landed in Smartlead's pool of email accounts, all in the inbox folder, which is good. It shows that everything is fine. You can see in this case, 10% of them land in spam. And in this case, 39% of them land in spam. And so we run these weekly for our customers to make sure that the email accounts health is monitored and taken care of. That way we can proactively update the email accounts. So it's really useful if you want to keep an eye on your email accounts performance and make sure that they're consistently landing in the inbox tab. All right, now that we've talked through the email account section, how to set up an email campaign and all the different settings on the email campaign section, I want to talk through the master inbox. So once you launch your email campaigns, you start sending out your hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of emails out. People are going to be responding to your email accounts. And so you want to make sure that you respond back, and especially timely. And so you can click over here into the master inbox section. And this is where you can see all the responses to your incoming emails that you're sending out. And so now you can see inside this master inbox view, there's a few different tabs here. Over here on the left-hand side, this is where you can see all the incoming responses. And some of these responses, again, this is a live view. My inbox manager comes in and actually tags these manually, but Smartlead by default will come in and tag these using the AI categorization if you have that enabled, as I showed before. And then you can override these with whatever tags you want. Once you click into these replies, you can see the full email chain. So I'm going to have this blurred out because I don't want to show all the different emails that are getting sent out, but this is a not interested one. So this is someone responding to our email saying, hey, I appreciate the offer, but it's not a right fit for us. And so in this case, we don't need to respond, and we can tag this over here with this lead category as not interested. But on the other hand, let's assume, without clicking into all these different replies, let's assume that someone is interested like they are in this example here in the top left. And this person we want to respond to, we could go over here and press this reply section and then respond to this person directly. We could say, hi, name, sounds great, blah, 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 tell them more about your service and try and get them scheduled in for a call. You can also push this lead to other campaigns. So if I want to run a sub campaign, which Smartlead has the capability to do a sub sequence, which is basically a campaign within a campaign. Explain that in simple terms. If someone responds to our email and we want to make sure that they are still continually followed up with, we can add them to a sub sequence. And so if I want to do that, I can press this button up here, but you can respond directly inside Smartlead. If you want to change the tag, you can do that as well. You can archive the lead. You can add notes. You can add tasks. There's all kinds of different features you can get lost inside here, but just to keep it super simple, as a beginner, all you need to do is use these tags and respond to the emails directly inside here. You can make custom tags inside the settings section, which I'll show later. So this is what we like to use. So for example, in the use case of us being an agency, if someone, if one of our customers, they need to respond to one of the messages that we're escalating, we're in a market that we need client feedback. You can also set these custom views here over on the left-hand side so that if you want a predefined set of things to show up, you can do that there. And then also you can filter for emails that have been unread. Emails are sent. You can mark things important. You can snooze them. There's all kinds of different stuff here. So you can make sure you can effectively manage your email inbox, and you can filter by whatever filters you want. There's so many filters here. You can filter by specific categories, specific campaigns, specific email accounts. There's so many different features inside here that are useful. Now, Smartlead also has this section here for untracked replies. These are basically emails that come into all your different email accounts that aren't associated with a lead. So if you're worried that some random person emailed your cold email account and you want to still be able to view what the contents of that email is, even though it's not, or it doesn't have anything to do with the campaigns you're sending out, you can view that in the untracked reply section. And so this is the central hub that you want to be using, or anyone on your team can be using, so that they can respond to emails quickly and effectively. Now, moving on here to the other features inside Smartlead. Over on the left-hand side, you can see this all leads tab. This is where you can see all the different leads and all the different campaigns. And if you want to see if leads are in multiple campaigns, campaigns, or just see a general status of basically all the leads you have inside Smartlead, you can see that inside here. This integrations tab, this is useful if you want to use HubSpot, Clay, ListKit, or Lead Magic, which are the 4 integrations they have right now. So you can sync data between Smartlead and any one of these other platforms. Client access, I'm not going to click into this because this is all sensitive data, but if you're running an agency and you want to set up a custom view, or you're white labeling Smartlead and you want to set up a custom view, you can configure this inside the client access section. You can set up a login for people to log in and see their own custom dashboard. Global analytics, this is where you can see the results of all the different campaigns that you're running. By the time you're watching this video, Smartlead might have already updated this to have this a little bit more robust than what you're seeing, but this is where you can look at all the different analytics that you're looking through inside of Smartlead. So if you want to see results across multiple campaigns, you can do that as well. Smart delivery we covered, and then smart servers. This is a new feature that they have where you can have a custom dedicated IP. If you want to assign that to a campaign, you can do that through that section. Now, the last thing to cover inside of Smartlead is just the general settings. So if you click into your profile here in the top right and you click into settings, you can see all the different settings. I'm not going to click through this because, again, I don't want to make my editors do a bunch of work and have to blur a bunch more stuff out. But under this your profile section, you can see your API key. So if you want to hook up any automations, Smartlead has a wide set of APIs that you can use. So if you want to use your API key, you can set that up there. They have webhooks. Again, if you want to set up automations, global block list, this is where you can add your block list. Team members, if you want to assign or invite any team members onto your account. White label view, tag manager, and then lead categories. This is what I was showing you earlier inside the master inbox. If you want to make custom categories, you can press add new category here and do that. And then if you want to upgrade your subscription or manage that, you can do that in the subscription tab here. All right, that's it for this video. If you're looking for help to set up a cold email system using a tool like Smartlead, or have someone manage it for you like I showed you in this video, feel free to check one of the links in the description below. I can either help you set up or manage a cold email system on your behalf to send hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of emails per day, so you can help get more meetings on your calendar. Really appreciate you. Check out the other videos on this channel and have a great day.